Monday evening from the Monday Night Rewind presented by the National Compact Touring Series, Federated Auto Parts, and ELH Detailing. We have a packed house in the staging area right now as we have three co-hosts, and Nick Stremme, the smooth operator, will be joining us shortly. So if you've had a case of the Mondays, hopefully we could take those case of the Mondays and turn them around. It's a nice sunny day in Northwest Indiana and Southwest Michigan. So again, at 7:05, we have Nick Stremme, who will be joining us to talk about his racing career overall, things he's done, things he wants to do. And then you might be wondering, we're also live tonight on the Hartford Motor Speedway Facebook page. We got it set up because at 7:40, so for Hartford fans, 7:40 is when Leah Dibble will be coming on, and she's going to be talking about the World of Outlaws, giving some big names that will be at the track this Friday night. Again, this is the date that I bet many people have had circled for a really long time to enjoy the World of Outlaws. And it's the first time since July 12th, 2019, that the World of Outlaws will be at Hartford, and it is their one and only trip to Michigan. So, with it being so long, there's no guarantee that the World of Outlaws will be back next year. So if you're looking for something to do on a Friday night, Jach is with us. He'll be talking about his National Compact Show at Corrigan Oil Speedway. But if you're a dirt fan or you're just looking to do something different on a Friday night, Kalamazoo is not racing. We're not going head-to-head with World of Outlaws. We have a demolition derby on Saturday at the Kalamazoo Speedway. But again, Leah will be on. So if you're like, hey, we're on the Hartford page, that's why we got it set up for Leah. So at 7:40, we are talking Hartford Speedway, World of Outlaws. A programming note, if you watched the Thursday Night Throttle, Buju and I did have a chance to talk. I'm taking a personal day on Thursday. I asked the boss man if I could do that, and so we will not be having a show, Thursday Night Throttle, this Thursday. We're going to take this week off, but Buju has been messing around with some different ideas for his own show that he wants to do like every other week, give or take. Not on Thursdays, on a different day, but so that's something that check for his page that he's going to be doing something himself. And but no Thursday Night Throttle this week. I'm taking a personal day, and we just felt like it's okay to take a day off. One more reminder, if you're looking to get your car detailed, especially now that the weather's finally turning, if you go to ELH Detailing in Bridgman, Michigan, they're a marketing partner of Top Row Racing Media. If you buy one full detail package inside and outside and use the code Top Row between May 1st, last month, now that it's June 1st today, and then September 30th, you'll receive an entry when you use that code Top Row for a chance to receive a full detail from ELH Detailing. The first one that we're giving away is on July 13th, and then the second one is on October 12th, just before the fall starts. So, again, lots to do, lots to see, lots to talk about. So let's welcome in every co-host. Drew's joining us tonight. I know he's usually busy, so we don't get to see him as often, but he's with us tonight. And then on my other side, I have Buju, who you see all the time with me on Mondays and Thursdays. So how are we all doing tonight?
I've been a little under the weather today, so I've been better on a Monday, but over pushing through better than I was this morning. That's for sure. I wish I got to enjoy the beautiful day that we had today in Michiana, but I was laid up all day, unfortunately.
It's just kind of feeling like, that's why I said a case of the Mondays. It's just feeling like
Yeah.
a case of the Mondays. How about you, Drew? I know you've been busy. You put in like 60 hours last week for the Hartford show, which we could talk about a little bit later tonight after Nick and Leah, just to kind of go over that, because you're going to try to do the same thing, duplicate the same thing you did at Hartford this coming Friday for Corrigan.
Absolutely. Honestly, I was out a little bit too late last night and got up very early today because there's a lot of work to do this week, and we got a pretty exciting text message in a response that we got a truck driver from MIS, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, will be joining us Friday. We're still working on some more, man. We get a no, we go on to the next one. We want to make this event special at Corrigan Oil. We want to make the event special at Hartford on this Friday for the World of Outlaws for Leah. It's a good weekend for racing. It's a tough weekend because it's MIS weekend, graduation weekend. Just summer's finally getting here, and people are maybe not thinking racetrack right away as their first thing. But all tracks got to work hard, and Leah and I and Buju will talk about it when she comes on. The amount of work you do to break even.
Yeah, and that's where, again, I want to remind everyone who might be joining us from the Hartford Motor Speedway page going, what's this and what's happening? Tonight we have Leah Dibble on at 7:40, and we got Hartford on here because she's going to be talking a lot about the World of Outlaws, giving some big names that will be at Hartford on Friday, and also going over some of the different changes that are taking place for this unique special show that's coming up for the first time since July 12th. 2019. So again, if you're joining from the Hartford Motor Speedway page, wondering what's this and what's going on, and you're seeing us for the first time, this isn't every Monday thing on Hartford. It is on Top Row. So we hope you come back and watch us. But we got it set up for Leah, so that way when she comes on at 7:40, it was one less thing for her to have to worry about when she signed in. So that's why we're live on the Hartford Motor Speedway page, because we will be talking about World of Outlaws. Victor's going to steal hot dogs. So we were thinking next week, I was talking with Victor that they might be on next week, him, Jeremy, and Philip, because Night of Destruction is next week at Hartford on the 13th. So they'll be there for that. So again, hello to everyone. Just to welcome everyone back before we bring Nick in, because it is 7:06. So again, share this out, like it. Last week was the most watched episode, and our now that was 15 episodes at that point, over 9,000 views, Buju, and over 5,000 people saw it at some point, and from week to week. So it was just crazy that the next closest was Victor's at 6,000, and then Leah and Megan had the previous record. So it took a while for someone to cross them, but that was a wild episode last week to have that just hit the stratosphere. So pretty cool. That's 13 out of 14 weeks that on Monday. So I'm excited for that too. But anyways, if we're ready, we can bring on the smooth operator, because I know he's set up in the background. And 3,000 or 3,249 rubles for Victor to get in at Hartford. So, and Leah, just so you know, we are live on the Hartford page. We got that set up for you. Drew was able to do it, so you don't have to worry about doing that yourself when you got in. So, anyways, are we all ready for Nick?
Yes, sir.
We are.
All right. So again, champion over at Plymouth Motor Speedway last year. Champion at a couple places actually in his career. So let's go ahead and let's welcome the smooth operator, Nick Stremme. Oh, that's the wrong graphic. There we go. Got that, Nick. Nick Stremme.
How's it going?
Good. How about you? Again, it's a Monday, and I know you had a long weekend with racing. So how are you doing?
It's catching up to us. No, it was a long weekend. Buddies had some trouble. Dad had some trouble. I had some trouble. Unfortunately, a couple of us worked out. A couple of us didn't. But it's part of racing, and if we didn't love doing this addicting drug, then I wouldn't be sitting here in front of a race car right now.
Which, by the way, is it Jaden Kurtasi, right, who does your reps still? Or
Yep.
I mean, he just did an incredible job.
Oh yeah, he every year the past, I don't know, I think he's been going to Jaden now for 5 years. Gets to be about closer end of winter, beginning of spring. What do you want to do? Well, I don't know, design something up. And usually it takes about a day or so. We'll fiddle out the little details. And I've been very fortunate. Had some great sponsors come on board the last couple of years, and family help. And with Jaden's help, I feel the last couple of years we've had one of the best looking street stocks around.
Oh, it's my favorite. It's one of my favorites that I see it, week in and week out. When I get a chance to watch you race and you come around, it's like, I mean, just the scheme. It's not quite dirt car-y, but it's got kind of like that dirt car feel to it. So, compared to some of the other ones, I mean, it's like Evan Verdine. It's like a challenge each year to how you did the year before, and this one is, I think, probably my favorite that I've seen.
Oh yeah, he does a great job. I mean, he's a great guy. Starting his own business from what he did and to what he's doing now, and all the stuff even outside of racing that he does graphics wise. I don't think a lot of people even know about, but it's his full-time job now. And I mean, he's up late at night, and he's just a great guy. I mean, He does an excellent job. I mean, as you can see, I mean, I think you can see the colors are still pretty bright. I mean, we're what, a month and a half into racing. I've
Yep.
raced 4 times now, and I mean, I've got a door over there that's 3 years old that still looks just as bright as this. So whatever he uses, it definitely stands out and it works, and it keeps its color.
Nick, you talk about keeping your car clean and wrapped and professional. What's that do for your marketing partners when you're able to create that presentation on a weekly basis?
I feel it helps. I mean, you keep it touched up to where you can read the stickers. And I shouldn't just say stickers, but the great sponsors and partners, and it people from the stands have to read the lettering on the car to be able to go help support them. That's why they support us racers. Because I mean, I get it. Not everyone gets stuff out of I don't want to say business out of sponsoring race cars, but some of them do quite a bit. And I mean, I hope the people that help me get business from me, and especially helps when we end up winning. So you get to read them at the end of the night to the fans. And I guess I just got to work a little bit better this year to end up in the winner circle so they can hear it.
Well, and speaking of winner's circle, you've definitely parked there often, right? So you have championships. You won it at Plymouth last year. You've been a champion at Spartan Speedway. We were talking about that. Now it's Corrigan Oil. So if we want to back up just a little bit, and if you want to talk about your career for those who are watching who may not know, right? They may know the Stremme name, but you never know who's like, well, who's Nick Stremme? I know Lou Stremme or Cindy Stremme or Bobby Stremme or David Stremme, especially, again, we're live on the Hartford Motor Speedway page just to get set up for Leah, but obviously David Stremme being a dirt racer, right? So who's Nick Stremme and your career from late models and street stocks and outlaw late models, everything that you've raced?
I was very fortunate. Grandpa started me out. I actually ran Grandma's car for Bruce Gregorich on the race car in 2012. I raced a blowout heat race at New Paris, and that was my very first race. And Grandpa decided over the winter, uh, Wade Berger, him and his dad had their street stock for sale, and we got that over the winter. And basically, we didn't really do much to it other than put our motor and seat in, and obviously painted it blue because I wanted to be like Grandpa. Um, had success our first night out at South Bend. Was very fortunate. I think it's one of, if not the only night in the track history that 3 generations of a family won in the same night. I was fortunate enough to win the fast heat, and Grandma spanked our ass in the heat or the feature. But Dad was able to sweep the night in the outlaw, and it was very neat. That was a 2013. 2014, I moved to the car that my brother has now. It was my grandpa's car the previous year. We call it the penalty box. Um, it, We traveled up to Spartan, now Corrigan, on Sundays. They had 4 or 5 shows that year, and the way that they used to do it, they had an ABC class, and it would be sportsmen, street stocks, pure stocks. You could consider Thunder cars. Were all mixed into one class, and you pretty much split up every week time wise. And I wasn't fast enough to run with the sportsmen's in the A, but I was fast enough to be a fast car in the B bracket. Uh, End up winning my first championship up there on Sundays in the B bracket. Never won a race, but was able to do that just being consistent. Um, 2015, Dad was done with the outlaw, and I still don't know what brought it to Grandpa's mind to put me in the template car, but we went template racing, and from 2015 to middle of 2018, um, and we didn't run. I mean, we ran for championships, but we didn't. It was more or less just going and racing, getting more experience. Uh, 2016, I think, was the hardest year we hit at it for try to run for championship. I run second to Austin Maynard that year. Um, it, and he's no slouch, whether he was in a Templar car, street stock, late model. Um, and yeah, the Templar car was up until 2018. Halfway through the year, the front clip I got in a wreck, bent the front clip, and decided I wasn't buying template body panels. And we had the Outlaw body sitting there from end of the year show stuff. So threw the Outlaw body on and attempted to make the Sizzler, missed it by a few cars. But ran Outlaws for that, and then majority of 2019, and just didn't have luck. It was hard to put the money into it, like a lot of teams were, and because just like it is today, Outlaws takes every nickel, dime, dollar anymore. Uh, so about halfway through 2019, I believe it was June, we sold the car to a kid up in Wisconsin, and we got this car from Jeremy Young, which looked way different then. And I've been very fortunate. Since then, 2019 was just, I was the slowest car at South Bend one night. I was started front row outside of the C feature, and I left with the biggest smile on my face because I had fun. And 2020, we chased for points at South Bend because year of COVID, year was cut short. Run second to Logan Maynard. Again, Logan's just like his brother. He's no slouch. You see him pulling to the track, he's got a good chance of winning. 2021, 3 days before opening night, broke my ankle, so at work. So that pushed our year off a little bit to where when I was finally able to race, we just bounced around and actually ended up going to New Paris and was able to win 3 features that year. 2022, went back to New Paris and had the best year to date or racing year to date for myself, winning 6 out of the 12 features and winning the championship. And 2023 was probably the roughest year of racing I had. I had some most races I ran in one year, but that was of course Plymouth, South Bend, Kalamazoo were alternating Friday nights. Uh, Plymouth, South Bend, New Paris, Galesburg, Angola, you name it, was running on Saturdays, and then Sundays was M40. And I think I took a month off that year and still ran 30 races that year. I went 8 or 9 weeks straight, 3 days in a row, which I don't advise if you don't want to be wore out, but we had a lot of other stuff going on, and that's how I dealt with it. I went racing. And 2014, we bounced around, didn't really run nowhere like a majority of the year. Or 14, 24, sorry. 2025, we, with the help of Cody Hahn, my dad, and Brian Kaiser, we cut this thing all up and redid it and went to Plymouth open house and felt pretty good. Went to Kalamazoo opening night and rained out after being third or fourth quick out of 30 some cars. And then we just stuck to Plymouth for the 10 points nights and was fortunate. We won twice, had 2 DNFs, and never finished outside the top 5. We were able to win the points championship, like I said, and we traveled to a couple other tracks last year, Grundy, Kalamazoo, and I went somewhere else, Owasso. And we won the Ravers B feature up at Kalamazoo, won the brackets at Grundy, and run 4th at Owasso for my first time there. And then this year I've attempted to race 4 times so far. Run 2nd at New Paris opening night, run 4th at Plymouth, made a lap and a half at Angola, and transmission broke. And then Owasso this past weekend, we end up second. Had some luck on my side, some misfortune from other drivers, and mistakes happening. But I mean, that's racing, and I just fortunate I was able to capitalize on it, and we had a good weekend in the end. It just now it's fixing the thing.
A lot of cars after this weekend have been kind of in that same boat, you know.
Very, very much so.
Yeah, and do you want to talk a little bit about that because you've grown up in racing, right? I mean, you're a legacy family in this area. The footprint just historically, right? So if you want to talk a little bit about what it was like growing up as, you know, in racing and watching this and when you got that bug of I need to do this myself and that, you know, you talked a little bit about that, but you know, how you were sure like this is what I want to do or this, you know, I want to get in the car, I want to have fun, I want to do these things because you know, not every family that's a legacy family always gets everyone in the car. And so, you know, not only have you gotten in it, but through a successful career have stayed in it. So you want to talk a little bit about what it's like to do that and know what it takes to win.
I can say I feel I can speak on behalf of my dad, my uncle, myself, my brother, and even Hayden for the couple of years she ran the mini wedge. We're all very fortunate what Grandpa and Grandma started now 43 years ago. Uh, they they made us work for it. If you wanted to go race, you worked for it. They didn't just supply the car and you just show up with like some of these USAC guys that show up with a helmet bag and a driver's suit and a steering wheel and their seat and uh, they if you want to go race, you worked on them. You had to fix them. If you wrecked it, you fixed it. If you broke it, you fixed it. If you didn't and you had a good night, you work on it, try to make it better for the next week. Uh, Growing up through school, um, their requirements were don't get in trouble and have good grades. You do that, they'll help as long as you put forth the effort to help and put forth the work to stay on track to keep a level head. Um, I guess I was very fortunate to figure out at a young age that uh, Dad and Uncle David would be racing a heck of a lot longer than what my grandparents would. So I really didn't go with my dad when I was younger. I did, but I didn't. Like when he ran the ASA stuff and traveling series, and even when he started running local again, I always went with Grandpa and Grandma because I wanted to spend the time with them more or less than anything. Uh, it's I'm there's a fine line between racing family and then your racing family. It's you may hate the guy two cars over from you in the pits, but he may be one of the first guys to come over and offer you a part if you need it. Uh, Obviously, like growing up, Austin started a couple years before I did, and there's been a few years where we were at each other's throats racing for a championship. There's other years that I feel we get along just fine. Like Saturday, he was one of the few drivers that come over and asked if we needed parts or help. We may be tough competitors on the track to each other, but it a racer helping a racer out is what's going to keep this sport alive. Like, you don't see very many guys wanting to go around and help, and I guess that's one main thing that we learned growing up was you help you don't bite the hand off that feeds you. Pretty much is the
Yep.
easiest way to put it.
Absolutely. So we're going to do some rapid fire quick questions here. First thing that comes to your head when I mention this, South Bend Motor Speedway.
Oh, Doug Fox, flagman.
David Stremme.
Lethal chassis.
Carson Hocevar.
Excitement.
Hartford Motor Speedway.
Family.
Best racetrack food.
That's racetrack food. Oh, I haven't had it in a long time. Steak on a stick at Winchester. I don't know if they have it anymore.
All right, Buju, bring you into the conversation. What's your favorite Nick Stremme memory from racing in Northwest Indiana?
Favorite Nick Stremme memory.
This should be pretty good.
I just always thought, because me and Nick are around the same age, and I just remember Nick running around the pits and me running around the pits with my group, and him and Dylan running around, and now seeing Nick being a street stock competitor in I think the toughest class in the area. I think that's pretty cool in itself. And that was my first questions I had for Nick is I think you're the division that you're racing in, street stocks in this area, is arguably one of the toughest in the country. So when you go to one of these big races and you realistically have 15, 20 guys that could win those races, how much homework and how much preparation and what's the mindset that you have to have going into these races when the field is so deep like they are now?
You got to be on your game. You can't just putz around and just, in basic terms, just throw your shit together and go race. You have to go through it. It's not just load the car up, go race. I did that a few years ago, and I was fortunate enough. I never really had a problem. But like nowadays, like for example, we traveled to Owasso, which every track around the Michiana area, or the 3-4 states surrounding us, has their own different levels of competition. But it's with the certain drivers that run at that track. So you could say the locals. Like the locals at New Paris may be a different kind of level than Plymouth or from Kalamazoo or Owasso or Corrigan or Angola. You have your few guys that are tough no matter what. And then I feel, like I said earlier, being locked down to one track for 1 or 2 years isn't a bad thing. But year after year, you don't get experience racing on different tracks. The more you can adapt to, like dirt guys, the more they adapt to the changing track surface, the better they get. The more asphalt drivers travel to different tracks, because not any two tracks are the exact same. So I think the more tracks you run, the more experience you get, the better off you're going to be. And I've been very fortunate that I've raced at close to a dozen tracks in my career. So not one has been the exact same yet.
Two-part question. Number one, what's your favorite track that you've raced at? And what's a future track that you want to race at that you haven't been to?
My favorite track would probably be hands down Rockford. I got to race there once and had a pretty wild crash. But I love that place. You had to talk yourself so much into driving down the top and just letting it roll. A track that I would love to race at, or you could say a bucket list item. I haven't made it to Anderson yet. I'd love to go to Winchester. That Kinross track where Sage and Charlie just went, and all the Outlaw guys. That looked like a pretty fun place, but it's a little bull ring, and that's what we grew up on around here.
So, Buju, I know you got some more questions written down. What are some other questions that you have for Nick?
Going off of what Andy did, somebody that you haven't had the opportunity to race with, maybe, and won't have the opportunity to race with, but somebody that you wish you had the opportunity to race with over the course of your career, or hope to.
That I wish.
Yeah.
So I went with David every week with or pretty much the whole ASA tour when he ran it. I went with my grandma and just happened to be with David every week. And I was really good friends when I was real little with Butch Miller. I actually just raced RC cars this winter against his son Hank and his grandson. And if I could race one person, I'd love to race Butch, just to say I got to race one of my heroes.
Mm-hmm.
that would be awesome. I know more than likely it probably won't ever happen, but if I could choose one, he would be one of them.
And then you mentioned your Uncle David, and obviously he's had some success. And when you have a last name in racing that gets tied to NASCAR or success in the sport, I think there's some misconceptions that come with the generation that comes after those names. Would you agree with that statement for one?
Absolutely. Everyone, I shouldn't say everyone, a lot of people see our last name and they assume David just hands us everything because of the level of the sport that he was able to get to. Not saying that David never helped us out with anything, but he never just gave it to us. I mean, we still had to work for it. It wasn't just say, all right, here, come get this and you can have it.
Well, and while you're thinking about that, and obviously being a Stremme, right, you come with a target on your back. And so
Yeah.
you're probably also other people's, like, right, like you have your own people. So Tina Lewis is asking, who is your toughest competitor on the track? Because again, you know, a lot of people would probably pick a Stremme when there's a Stremme on the property. So in your case, since you are a Stremme, maybe you could pick a Stremme. Obviously racing against your dad or Dylan, or when you've raced against any other family members, right? Like, you know, maybe it's them, but who's your toughest competitor on the track from Tina Lewis, one of our employees over at Kalamazoo, Rockstar employee, I should ask, especially after Friday.
I'd say it's hard to just pick one person because there's a group of guys that go to every racetrack and you know they're going to be tough to beat. Like I mentioned earlier, Austin Maynard, wherever he goes, he's fast. The Pressler group, they're quick wherever they go. Andrew DeVries, Daryl Click. I mean, I would consider my dad. You got the Gannises, the Colin Bozell, the Ricky LeDukes, the Kyle Ribble. I mean, the Lee Reed over at Angola. I mean, I could go on and on. Every track has its elite drivers. You could say, and not taking nothing away from the rest of them at the track or at each individual track or whoever I didn't mention, but you have that group of guys that can go to each track and be very tough. And I say that's probably the toughest competitor is everyone, because you're not just racing yourself every week. And I've raced against Austin 2 of the 4 races I've ran this year, and he's been up front both times. I've raced with my dad now twice this year. I mean, he had misfortune at Owasso, but Clementi was up front running. Andrew DeVries was fast 2 nights we raced each other. I've only raced against guys over at Angola once. So, I mean, I wasn't the quickest car. I was within a tenth of them. But that day just sucked in general, weather-wise, and just the whole experience. But it wasn't the track's fault. They stuck it out. And I want to give kudos to them. With the crowd count that they had, I know the car count wasn't the best for street stocks that night. There was only 7 of us. But the crowd count that stuck through the weather was awesome to see. And it just shows that people are still wanting to go watch if the tracks are wanting to honor, put the backbone into it and say, hey, we're going to try to push our best through to get this show in.
And I know that was a long night for a lot of people, but that's one of the things that you saw on Facebook all over is, you know, big kudos, you know, to push through and get that going.
Yep.
You know, it could have been easy to pull the plug, right? And say,
Yep.
Well, everybody packed up and head on home. You know, we gave it the good old college try, but they, you know, pushed through. And didn't they get most of the races in, if not all of the races in that night?
All the features, yeah.
Yep, we got all of them in, and it just, and like I said, that was no dig towards any track in particular. It's just it's that deal or no deal that you're gonna play, and they chose deal. We're gonna try to stick it out, and fortunately, it worked out.
So, and I know we're getting close here on time. With Leah coming on in just a little bit. So, one thing that I wanted to know, you've highlighted a lot of different memories. Not only growing up and in your career, what it takes to be a championship competitor, the life lessons you learn, and all these things. So, all of this time that you spent at the track, what are some of those memories that stand out to you that even on those toughest days, you're like, but this is why it's fun and this is why we keep coming back?
Uh, I guess you could say, I mean, like I said earlier, the addiction to go race. If, if we didn't love, if we didn't love what we were doing, we wouldn't do it. I mean, that's just plain and simple. If you expected it to be dandelions and roses all the time at the racetrack, everyone and their mother would still be doing it. It it's tough, and I think it gives you a good life lesson to learn throughout your life. If you want to work towards something to get better, you got to work hard at it. You can't just give up. And I think favorite one of the favorite memories wise is uh, I just remember when first couple years I started racing and just we didn't have the fancy enclosed at the time, and I was just starting just the open trailer. And when it rained, you covered up your seat in the air cleaner. When it didn't, it was neat to haul home. And if you did good that night, you felt good. And it just, it, knowing what hard work goes into it is what makes it feel good at the end of the night, as long as it pays off.
So we're getting close to the 7:40 hour. We always ask all of our drivers, what are the main sponsors that help you out and the crew members that turn the wrenches that make this possible for you?
Classic seamless gutters, load and go pilot, Dash for Cash Razes, Granger Lawnmower Place, King's Collision, Spiller's Towing and Unlocks, Pro Strip, uh, Matney Transmission Repair, Hoax Graphics are just, uh, fortunately, a few of people are that help this thing go in circles. Uh, but I mean, mainly the crew wise, my wife is my biggest supporter, my biggest critic, but my biggest supporter. My mother-in-law that is there every week, and it's hard because with family going and helping, because obviously when we race with each other, we try to help, um, but not all the time. We're going to the same racetrack, so you got to split up. Um, Kevin Todd, he used to race. He comes in. He's been helping me now for the last 4 or 5 years now, and he he's not able to make it all the time because I don't run close to home for him and it's hard. But it he still helps out whenever he can and it's very much appreciated. I mean, you see everyone on the car, everyone that goes to the track. I mean, and some nights we don't like the track owners, promoters, whatever it is, but and other nights we love them. But I mean, we have to be thankful for them because they're the ones putting their neck out on the line to keep a place for us to go race. If it wasn't for all the track owners and promoters, I mean, we wouldn't have somewhere to take our toys to go play with. In hindsight,
Absolutely. Well, we greatly appreciate you tonight and a great interview, as Tina said. Um, Lewis, I think we probably need to bring him back on for another episode here in a couple weeks and dive deeper into the family history. Anything in closing, Nick, before we move on?
no, I just want to say thanks for the opportunity to come on. And after I jump off here, I gotta go finish fixing things so I can go fix a few more repairs that I keep finding. But um, hopefully, we'll see. We might end up somewhere this weekend. I don't plan on it as of right now. Um, it all depends on if it gets done in time. As of right now, my next race will be for sure. Will be Owasso next week on June 13th. So we'll go from there.
And where can people really quick for social media? Because you're talking about, where you might go or where you might be. So
Yeah.
how can people know the latest and greatest things that are happening with Nick Stremme Racing?
On I've got a Nick Stremme Racing page on Facebook. I try sharing it on my personal page as well after I make a post on there. If my wife makes a post, we try helping promote that track where we're going that week. And because I mean, like I said, if no fans show up, it's hard for us to go do what we love to do. So, Nick Stremme Racing on Facebook, and then like I said, I'll share it on my personal page 9 times out of 10 after I make a post on there.
Well, that's one thing that, I always, anytime that you're at a track with me, or like when you have a GoPro or whatever it may be, it's always, trying to tag. I've had a lot of drivers. Benny Miller's been in here. He raced at Corrigan yesterday, and he was one of the ones that said, man, every time you tag our page, we get a little bit of a hit from it. So keep doing that, because, it just helps.
Yeah.
So I can't promise followers, but at least people might click on that page and just see what's going on or what's happening or who's that. So go follow.
If we had the old page, it'd still be fine. But that page got hacked, and we had to restart a new one. So
yeah, that's my biggest fear.
you know?
My biggest one is I don't have time to rebuild this from scratch. So
yeah, I get it.
I might retire if that were to happen. But again, Nick, I know you got to go hammer out and get the car ready for potential weekend show up, maybe at New Paris on Saturday, but if not, definitely to get ready for the Big O next Saturday at World Speedway when you return there. And is your dad going to race there again next week too?
I believe so. I would assume so. I wouldn't see why not. We'll put it that way. But thank you guys for having me on, and thanks again for every time you're at the track and I am. You always offer in-car camera, which I love because then I get to go back and learn from it, and it's always nice to have it in there.
Oh, and I'm a big fan of yours. I've even said this on the show many, many times that I'm a big fan of you, big fan of your family. So again, I definitely appreciate you, being willing to come on to the Monday Night Rewind and do a introduction to Nick Stremme. But like Drew said, we'll definitely have to bring you back on. But before we go, I feel like Leah, if I may bring her on, she's a big Stremme fan. She was already in the this layout. She's a big Stremme fan. So, Leah, before Nick goes, I know he has to go hammer stuff out. Did you have a question for him or anything you wanted to say as a big Stremme fan?
Can you guys see me? Because I can't see myself.
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, we can see you.
Okay. Just good luck with your season, and I love your family.
Oh, yeah.
I will never forget the drive-by COVID birthday from your dad to my son. So you guys are always special to me.
Oh yeah, I haven't personally been able to meet Timmy yet. There he is. Because 9 times out of 10, I was racing on nights when Dad would come up and race, and I don't even think I've been able to meet you or Tim in person. It just every time I was able to come, it was nice to be able to come up and have fun.
Yeah, I love your family. You guys are great people.
Thank you very much.
Well, and Crystal's on here, another person I'm a fan of, and she's saying, "Oh, hi, Timmy." So Crystal Stremme, another, one of those legacy people who you'll see at the track. I mean, she's out there changing tires and everything else. So I always say they're all working in the pit area. If they have a Stremme name or they're with the Stremmes, they're working. So.
At one point, all 5 of us were under my car Saturday. So yeah.
Hey, speaking of the next generation of workers, Timmy was working at Hartford Speedway last Friday, and I think he got his paycheck.
That's awesome.
Oh,
heck yeah, Timmy.
You did a great job.
Good.
Oh, good. But again, Nick, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Nick.
Yeah.
And definitely, I'll see you. It sounds like at least Saturday at New Paris, with or without a car. So
hopefully with the car, but if not, I will definitely be there helping a buddy of mine and hopefully having fun.
Yeah, I mean, and it's Amish country that we get to have fun in, so can't complain too much. But again, I know you got to hammer out, so we'll let you do that, and we're gonna hop on over to all Hartford Speedway, World of Outlaw Racing. So, Nick, if you're looking to do something on a Friday night, if Corrigan Oil is a possibility. If not, certainly World of Outlaws. over at Hartford, where I think a majority of people are going to be in South Carolina. It's the first time since July 12th, 2019. So
I hope so. I hope you guys get a very good turnout. If I'm not able to make it, I hope you guys do.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
all right. So Leah, are you ready to hammer this down?
Yep.
All right. So everybody, I know for Hartford page, we've been talking about it and saying, hey, you're seeing us live and you're probably, what the heck is this? That's because we got it set up for Leah. She's going to be talking about the World of Outlaw trip that is coming up this Friday night at the Hartford Speedway, again, for the first time since 2019. So all Hartford fans who've been waiting around, I hope you not only enjoyed the interview with Nick Stremme, but just know every Monday night on Top Row Racing Media, National Compact Touring Series, and over on YouTube, Top Row Racing Media, we have a show every Monday night, and it definitely gets a lot of views. So we can, bring, if you're interested in coming on.
You can come back on in a minute, okay?
Yep, come on. Oh, he could join. But definitely hope you enjoyed the interview with Nick, and now it's World of Outlaws and jumping into that. So Leah, everybody has had this circled, I think, since the very beginning.
Yep.
So it's here now. So how are you feeling about it? It's Woo Week.
Super excited. It's a really big deal. They're the greatest show on dirt. So yeah, I'm really excited. Lots to do this week and to get everything ready.
So do you want to talk a little bit about what it takes to get ready for a show of this caliber? Because you've had Great Lakes Super Sprints, and that's nothing against Great Lakes Super Sprints, but Great Lakes Super Sprints and World of Outlaws are very different, levels. And so they share drivers, but, they very different operation levels and the work that it takes into this. So do you want to give a little bit, peel the onion back just a little bit on what it takes to get ready for this kind of show?
Sure. Well, so Tim is at the track as we speak. That's why you guys get me tonight instead of Tim. And I'm trying to beat his ratings, So anyway, or with his ratings, but anyway, so we had the new clay put on, as everybody knows. It wasn't up to Tim's standards. Tried. So we had races, the last couple weeks. The track was a really good last Friday for the Midwest show. So it should be near perfect and up to Tim's standards for Friday night for the World of Outlaws. So lots of track work. I will be up there getting the grandstands nice and clean myself. I'll have, like all the huge food orders coming in, all the beer coming in. I'm trying to think what all, of course the grounds will be in tip-top shape, and yeah.
Which it always is. I mean, that's one thing. You guys, for a dirty facility, you have a clean facility.
Right.
And that's something that, you walk through, you can tell that there's a lot of care that goes into the Hartford Speedway property from the moment you pull in to the time you get into the bleachers. And so, that's something that it's always interesting that you're at a dirt track, but when you show up, you can't always tell, except for the track in front of you, that it's a dirt track.
Right.
So again, kudos to you. And I know sometimes you're out there even with your flame torch.
Yes, I did that too. I need to probably get that back out before this week, but we'll see if time permits.
Now you mentioned beer, and it looked like Drew was going to say something. Sorry, Drew,
Go ahead.
but since you brought up beer,
Mm-hmm.
case of the Mondays, do we
Yes.
want to open that case?
We'll just go for it, and people will be upset, but
it off now, and we'll apply.
that's okay. It's all right. So this show and this show only, for the first time, I said 7 or 8 years, for the first time in 7 years, you cannot bring a cooler because we will be selling alcohol. So legally, you cannot bring in alcohol, and
I got alcohol.
Yep. So you cannot bring. What we will allow you to bring in is a empty one of our Hartford Speedway cups. This is last year's. A empty one, because we do sell these, and you get $1 refill as many times as you want every time we're open. So you can bring this. That way we don't have to risk that you're bringing alcohol. We don't have room for coolers because, the seats are a average size seat. So there's no room for coolers anyway. We have our concessions open, so we never allow outside food, and we typically do allow coolers. We typically allow alcohol, but at this show we do not. So you are not allowed to bring any coolers, no cups, just these. We've kept it very, very, in my opinion, very reasonably priced. We will be having Miller Lite and lots of choices, Miller Lite Draft, and Smirnoff's coolers on the west end, $6 each for a 16-ounce draft. And then on the east end, we'll be having cans of beer, Bud Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra, and the Smirnoff's coolers on the east end, all only $6. So I feel, like I said, to me, that's extremely cheap. Tim likes to set the prices there. So yeah, it's very reasonable. We have our soft drinks are big. I think it's a 24-ounce cups for our soft drinks. Those are only $3.50. Bottle of water, $2. Gatorade, $3.50. All of those, everything is cash. The beer sales are cash. Our concessions are cash. Anyway, yeah. So no coolers this time. One and only time you cannot bring a cooler. Sorry.
And
let's be realistically, if you were charging the prices, they would be Ford Field prices. So kudos to Tim for keeping the price there.
Yeah.
But
I paid $14 for a beer at a dirt track recently. So
I
think that's extremely reasonable. For nobody should be complaining about that.
Right. My point is all the Nancys and the whiners on social media, you're getting a deal compared to wherever you would be. Eldora, you're going to be paying $14 a beer. Any other racetrack, you would be paying $10 a beer, $12 a beer. So they have the most reasonable price concessions there. I had a barbecue sandwich with coleslaw on it that was really good. In the concessions, you had a walking taco for $8 or $7 last week. So Hartford always works on those food specials and makes it fair for their fans. You know what? You're going to pay big money to see a big show. That's just a fact of life. With the World of Outlaws, wherever they go. So my point where I'm getting at is just be quiet, pay your money, enjoy the greatest show on dirt, have some great food at Hartford Speedway, drink a cold beer with your friend, and go hang out with Leah and Timmy.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think we're all waiting for Timmy to make an appearance. There we go.
I pushed him away for a bit.
It was like that. It was that pause, he's gonna make an appearance. But
so, Leah, real quick. So it's gonna be a big crowd. We know that. So let's talk about the amenities at Hartford Speedway. Your parking, your ticket booths, your pit pass window, so people know that. Any excess parking, so they're not parking in the neighbor's yard. So if they can't find a spot at Hartford Speedway, where else can they find a parking spot and stuff like that?
The road behind the track, you can park down the street, the road behind the track. And then across the way from the east end entrance, there is a walking trail. Van Buren State Park is right over there. You can park over there. It is a bit of a walk, but it's not super far. But we do have a lot of parking. We do have handicap parking on each entrance too. But like I said, you can park, down that road if you wish, or across the way, just so you're not parking in. And sometimes some of the neighbors put up signs and you could pay to park in their yard. I don't know if they're doing that. And our parking is always free. We do have free camping all the time. There's no hookups, but that is free in the west side. Okay, in the west side general admission parking. But yeah, so like I said, there's plenty of parking. Okay. All right. Listen. Okay, they have to hear Mom talking. Thank you.
if you want to talk about bathrooms, ticket booths, pit pass, if people want to get a pit pass, if you want to go over that, because that's the one thing that I always like to explain to people with Hartford is if you see it on the left side, it's on the right side. But if people people haven't been there, they may not know that. So if you want to kind of talk about your layout, and then obviously in the middle, where pretty much all your concession food is, the self-serve line and all that. So if you want to, for those who may not been in Hartford or haven't been there in a while, if you want to kind of talk a little bit about that, and even the golf carts for those who need that.
Thank you. Yeah, we have the concessions down in the pits they're easy access. There's restrooms down there too. They're all indoor restrooms, no porta potties. There's golf carts that can take you up on each side of our grandstands. There will be 3 concessions selling food up top in the grandstands. The souvenir booth is up top in the grandstands. The grandstands ticket booths open at 2:00. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. The grandstands open at 4. The pit entrance opens at 2. Pits at 2, grandstands at 4 this week. Anyway, like I said, 3 concession stands up top, 1 down below. There's east and west side, plenty of restrooms, indoor restrooms up top. You want me to go over some pricing?
Pricing, and then especially for grandstand, while we're all in the grandstand, obviously top row's reserved.
Thank you.
Not for the top row, that's for the people who sit at the top row and reserve that for season passing. But you got picnic tables there, then you have reserved marked seating, and then below is general. So if you want to talk all about that and the prices for all of that too.
Thank you. Yes. Okay. So up top, we have 2 handicap seatings on each side up top. The west side, it's a mirror image of the west and east. The picnic tables are first come, first serve. The handicap spots are first come, first serve. The very top row with the very large numbers on them, those are reserved lawn chair seats. Those have been purchased pre-season for the entire season. Those have been sold out. So on the website, if you're purchasing on the website, if you purchased row 1, technically that is the row right below our reserved seats. So it's row 1. It's not the very top row. It's right below that. So unless you purchase that top row seat, that's the only spot you can actually have a chair. You can have a stadium chair with no legs, seat cushion, blanket. We have nice cement seating. You're not going to fall through. It's fairly comfortable. In the middle, we are keeping our family section open right in the middle of the grandstands. And you cannot drink alcohol or smoke cigarettes in that area. So that's all our family section. Let's see.
And that's also clearly marked too. Like you have signs.
Yes, there's signs all over. So the general admission cost, if you buy the tickets in advance, it's the same price. But if you want to get a reserve seat / pit combo, you can get those up to noon the day of, and those are $52, and it's a combo. It's only $7 more to do it that way. That's for adults, and then on the race day prices, adult general admission is $49, and pit passes are $50. And the children's reserved 0 to 12 years old is $25. And then the pit passes are $25. Like I said, if you buy it online, you save money by getting the combo reserve seat and pit pass price if you do it that way by noon. The general admission adult prices are $45. The kids 6 to 12 is $25. That's race day price. And then 5 and under are free.
And are the pre-sale tickets, are those like virtual tickets, or is that how that be scanned, or do they get mailed, or is it will call? Like how does that work?
They're at will call, and thank you for asking that. The will call will be at the west end ticket booth, which is the white ticket booth nearest the pits. The will call will be there, but you absolutely can purchase your ticket the day of the event, and you can use a credit card this day only. We typically don't take credit cards at our ticket booths. You can use your credit card or cash, and you may purchase them the day of the event as well.
Ooh, that's good to know, because obviously, and I think you had a change like that for monster trucks too, or monster trucks were doing credit cards, and that's not a usual Friday night thing. But for this Friday, just to re-highlight that for people at the ticket booth, you can use cash or card.
Yep.
But once you get inside those beautiful gates there on east or west side, then it turns into cash only, except at your souvenir stand where they
Okay.
can get cash back
Yep.
on their purchases. So do you want to talk a little bit about even that process of like the souvenir stand and where that's located for those who are maybe needing cash once they get past those gates?
Yep. The souvenir booth is up at the very top of the grandstands inside the concourse where all of our concessions are located. And we have all of our new merchandise up there for sale. And if you make a $25 purchase, you can get cash back. So if you don't bring enough cash, didn't realize that we only take cash, if you buy a purchase, we'll give you as much cash as you'd like. So,
Well, and that's helpful. And all your stuff in the concourse too is labeled. Like you have a sign
yes.
for Stuntman, you have a sign for the kid zone, or not kid zone, but the
Kids
kid
corner.
I mean, all of this is labeled too. So if you're not
Yep.
sure where you're going when you're in that main concourse up top, again, the wings, I call it the wings. The wings are identical. Bathrooms are immediate to each side of the building, and then there's like a small little outdoor concession on those sides, right? Like that's
Yep.
all pretty near, but on the inside, that's all labeled. So if you don't know where you're going, it'll tell you. You just look on up,
I like signage.
Yeah, and that's something. I mean, again, you guys do a really incredible job there with the facility. Where if someone's lost, it's like, okay, just you'll find your way, and that's where I think a lot of people probably don't think about seating at Hartford. And so for those buying a ticket, row 1 starts just below the top row. So if you come in from the bottom and you're looking for row 1, you're furthest away.
Yes. Yep.
You gotta
And the top half of our stands are all reserved, and then the general admission tickets are the bottom half of the stands. So I would highly suggest getting a reserve seat so you can sit in the top half of the stands. And those are all.
Leah, quick question for you. So you do have some picnic tables that are up top. Those are first come, first serve, correct?
Yes.
For this
Yep.
So if anybody wanted to sit up top and reserve a picnic table, probably get there when the gates open, and politely don't be throwing people over the hill to get to it. But another thing to kind of think of is Hartford Speedway. Their staff is very friendly. Lewis mentioned it earlier. They give you golf cart rides if you can't make it up the hill. There's bathrooms that are located on each side, correct, of the corridors, the east and the west. Also, there are pit bathrooms down there. What are you most excited about the World of Outlaws show, other than selling a lot of merch and hamburgers? I mean, this is a get event, because not every track gets a World of Outlaw date, let alone it's the only one in the state of Michigan.
Right. There's not any one thing specifically that I'm excited about, but I'm just excited that they chose our track to come, because people are always asking for them to come back. And, the fact that they picked Hartford to come to is pretty cool. It's been a long time, so I'm just looking forward to them coming back.
Are any of your favorite local sprint car drivers coming to race in this event that you're aware of?
Thanks for asking. I believe my very favorite, which is no secret, Ryan Rule, I think, is joining us. Yeah. And I'm sure there's others, but I mean, that is my favorite since you asked. But
I knew that. That's why I asked.
You were doing some work earlier on some names that are coming, and you have a beautiful list of names that you were able to get with the World of Outlaws. So, other than your local legend who's come and you FaceTimed you for like a birthday wish at one time, who else is coming that you know of?
Do you want to go down the list, or do you want me to?
I'll have you go down the list.
Okay.
Although I do have because you sent it to me, but
yeah. 2-time defending champion David Gravel will be there. 10-time series champ Donnie Schatz will be there. I'm gonna mess up the rest of the names. Can you help me out? You're a teacher.
Oh, all right. Let me open it up. I wasn't prepared for that one. That's my fault.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Oh no! Hey, I threw a curveball at you, so it's only fair that you.
Okay.
No judging here.
I don't know. It's not your fault.
You texted it to me, not on Facebook. You sent it.
I'm gonna screw up the name, but isn't it Hotson's child?
That's what I wanted you to say because I know.
Shield.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. If Wayne, I'm sorry about that. I'm so sorry. If Wayne Bunn was on here, he would. Yeah.
He is watching. He did tag in. He is watching, but I know that doesn't help us in the chat.
Right. Yeah.
But Buju's turned into kind of a dirt track fan a little bit. He's been converted by some of his friends, and so don't you have that T-shirt, Buju? Don't you have one of his T-shirts?
I have a Sammy Swindell T-shirt.
Oh, Sammy Swindell. All right.
Yeah. Sammy's not at the World of Outlaw level anymore, unfortunately.
If there was a senior tour, he would be.
Yeah.
But I mean, just hearing shots, right? I mean, just
David Gravel's arguably the best sprint car driver in the world right now. Donnie Schatz, like she said, 10-time champion, maybe one of the best ever. And Hod Shield,
Thank you.
A stout list of names for sure.
Yeah.
Now, for those who may be wondering, is there anything else racing that night with the World of Outlaws? Sometimes
yes, we have our amazing Super Trooper class. Let's not forget them. Yes. Yep.
So they get to show their super sows.
Yeah.
But no Farvas. No Farvas allowed. Just go race.
They are one of the strongest car count classes at Hartford on a weekly basis with the Cyber Stocks. They put on one of the best shows. There's Ely's, there's Zelmer's, there's McCraig's, there's so many names in that class. There was a Zelmer that won $1,000. I'm going to apologize. There's like 17 Zelmers that race there. So George Zelmer.
Yes, as we call him, Matty Daddy.
The number 25, right? He races the number 25.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Austin Salisbury, I think, is another name that races there.
Steve Openier.
Yep. The very underrated class. Very underrated, very good to watch.
Yes, yep.
And you've been having a really healthy count again with those. So do you want to, for those who may be watching, obviously we're live on your Hartford page, so the Hartford fans are going to know it. But for those who maybe they go to Kalamazoo on a Friday night or they go elsewhere on a Friday night and they may not get to Hartford, when they say Super Troopers, we're talking about Crown Vics. And
yes.
So that's a Crown Vic in Hartford. Out of all the tracks in here, this is not a knock at any track. Trust me, it's not. But Hartford has had the most consistent, healthiest Crown Vic. Obviously, M40 is kind of making a run this year. They've had a pretty good counts the last couple times after what I was able to do to help that out on April 11th when I got them 17 for the first time ever. Gave them a big count, and they've kept that. So maybe we introduced a lot of people to M40 that hadn't been there. But your track has certainly been super healthy. So do you want to give people an idea of, like, I mean, we mentioned some of the names like George Zelmer. There's a lot of Zelmers. You have
not to say Dan Williams, our champion last year. We can't forget him.
Yeah. So I was going to say, if you wanted to mention some of those names who people should listen for when they come out.
I think I feel like we got most of them. Brian Gage, Cole Gage.
All right, here I got a list because we got some great.
I think I hit everybody. I think.
So we got to give some shout outs to the female racers. There's Christina McCraig.
Yes, I said her.
Oh,
I'm not ready.
Madison Zelmer.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Maddie. Yeah.
And then I'm not these. Well, they're names that could go both ways, so I don't want to insult anybody here. But do you know any other female drivers, any more Zelmers or?
See, look, Bobby McCaig's girlfriend is racing now. Skylar. Look, I'm sorry.
Skylar Zelmer.
No, that is a Zelmer, but no. Sorry, I'm blank.
We'll just go right down the list. You got Skylar Zelmer, Ryan Zelmer, Madison Zelmer, George Zelmer Jr., Dan Williams, Jeffrey Weber, Corey Thumb, Morgan Smith, Austin Salisbury, John Rawson Jr., John Papa, Daniel Papa, Steve Openier, Krista McCraig, Bobby McCraig Jr., Eric Markovich, Lucas James, Mike Ely, Skylar Brady, and Josh Beeching were all there.
Gosh, look at me. I got about half of them. I'm terrible.
And you're on the other side of the fence. That's actually pretty
I
good.
know them all too, but I'm like, oh yeah.
I know where a lot of those Zelmer cars park. They're right across from Lakeshore High School's Betty
Yes.
Cone
Yep.
Sports
Yep.
Complex and Al Stockton Stadium. So if you go down Cleveland Avenue, you'll see a lot of those Crown Vics right there in the heart of Stevensville. Especially if you go to Betty Cone Complex or the Cone Sports Complex right there, you'll see them all parked there. So it's like free advertising for Hartford because they're literally right there along the road on Cleveland. So and some are at Lakeshore Body Shop too. So if you go to Market Supermarket and you turn left or right on Cleveland, you're like, what's that over there? Just another Crown Vic. Sitting up on the trailer. So I know they are a huge supporter of Hartford, and I try
Yes,
to
they
give them
are.
a shout out every time, not only because I went to school with Danny Papa. So that's something that you just know a lot of the people in the community. So I always try to give them a shout out. But that's where it's like, hey, this is the platform to do it, right? Let's help sell the show even more, because I mean, World of Outlaws already going to do that, but then to have your Super Troopers go out there and put on a show. You did that last year, almost a year ago, with your Night of Destruction, where you had the Super Troopers come out and do a race there. Do you think you guys would ever do something like that again, where you spotlight a class and then do Night of Destruction afterwards, or was that kind of like a headache to maneuver?
No, it was fine, but I mean, we kind of did that to see if we could get more race fans interested in regular race nights, is why we did it, and we like to give a even amount of races to the Cyberstock guys and to the Super Troopers, so that made them even up. So yeah.
But again, I know everyone's been looking forward to this week, and Bougie and I have been talking about it for weeks. Since what, March, I think, is when we first, or April, when we first came out with the Thursday Night Throttle. Then on here, when we had you on here, in fact, you've made a lot of appearances on between the Monday Night Rewind and the Thursday Night Throttle. So again, I always appreciate your flexibility and making time, and appreciate Timmy, because I know this cuts into his mom time in the evening, but you to come on and help promote the show, because that's what this that's what this is for, is to hopefully get people and fans to go check out the track. And there's no Kalamazoo competition this week. We have a not a destruction, I almost messed that up. We have a traditional demolition derby on Saturday, so it's like Friday nights are open for a lot of people
Nice.
who would
And
usually be at asphalt.
very nice of them to take off too. So hopefully, we have a huge crowd. And like I said, it's supposed to be the greatest show on dirt. It is. It is the greatest show on dirt. So
we've talked a lot about the promoting the event. Let's talk about the people that are making this happen. You talk about your husband being at the racetrack right now. He's got a great crew that helps him out with the track prep. Then you have a great team that helps you with the ticket office, the concession. So let's give them some recognition, because they certainly deserve it. They work hard.
Well, let me say that I forgot my best friend and my right-hand lady last time that you asked me to give people a shout out, Holly, who, God bless her, does anything and everything I ask and has a million roles. And so thank you, Holly. Like, she is amazing. But so Tim, always his worst critic. Yeah, he's there getting the track ready, always mowing, fixing things. Wayne Bunn helps with the lighting. We're putting up some new lighting down in the playground area this week. Anyway, so we are putting up some new lighting. Let's see, Bradley Graham, always there getting all of the push trucks ready. Tim's getting those ready all the time, the wreckers. Greg Merkel is always there helping. Chris has been a big help this year. Jach's mowing. Troy and Donnie, we can't forget them. Roadrunner towing. I know I always forget people, but Chesney came back to work in the pit window, which is awesome. Love seeing her again. We have like a super great crew. My concession crew. The main concession is, no lie, that's probably my favorite place to be, and like just a super, super good group in there. But anyway, t-shirt booth, my mother-in-law and whoever else helps out in there, Amy, my awesome 50/50 girl. But I have, on these nights, and Timmy, my walking taco maker, a lot of extra people that work on Pam Bunn. They're up there working in the outside t-shirt booth. My friend Erin and Pam in the ticket booths. They're amazing. Another thing, if you're parking down in the East End this week, please be kind. Follow the stakes and the caution tape. If you're asked to move your car, please be kind and move your car, and don't give my ladies any hassle, please. They're doing their job, and unless you want to get your car towed, follow the rules, right?
I wouldn't be worried about getting my car towed. I'd worried about getting body slammed by a couple of your ladies down there. If you get too
Yeah. I mean, they do a great job for me. They're wonderful. We're the Disneyland of racetracks. You're gonna feel at home. If you have a question, find somebody in a red shirt. He saw you doing that, Andy, 6'7", or you did that. Lewis did that. If you need help in any way, shape, or form, there's people in red t-shirts everywhere. Grab us. I'm up there everywhere. If you have a question about anything, but we just want everybody to come, have a good time, enjoy it, hang out with your friends, watch some good racing, and have a good night. It's going to be beautiful weather, and yeah.
Respectful in the play area,
Mhm.
zone area. We won't hatch the egg there, but you guys as a property right, as property owners, you have the right to remove people. So if they're not going to do what they need to do and do those things, that's where you could say, okay, your car's going to be on the tow truck, and we're going to park as far away from the track as possible. Enjoy your walk and don't come back.
Yep.
This is a huge, for people to understand, this is huge for the World of Outlaws to be coming.
Yeah. It's a huge deal.
They're very selective on where they go. They have all the money to be selective on where they go, and so if we want these kind of events back, at Hartford in the future, this is the time to impress. This is the time to pack the stands so they go, damn, we need to come back to Michigan more often, right? And, and show them World of Outlaws mean a lot to this Michigan fan base. You're probably going to have people from several states traveling for this event, especially with the history of Hartford. And some of these drivers are going to remember the other, egg that we won't hatch, but the wicked half mile, right? So, I know. Cool. No coolers. We talked about Teen Zone and half mile. There, I covered your bingo board.
Yes, we got it. Yeah. Can I give a shout out to? I want to give a shout out to SLS Promotions.
Yes, yeah.
I'm the promoter of. They're amazing, and I work with Tony. He's great, and Scotty is the one that brought them to us. They're absolutely amazing to work with. So, a big shout out to them, and thank you guys for having me on so many times. And I would love for everybody to share this video and comment so I can beat Victor, and I know I already had a Tim, so that's okay. But,
no, I threatened Victor with police, and I haven't seen him in the comments again. So
yeah,
I told him 3,400 rubles to get in, and then I told him the cops were there looking for him last week. So.
You guys are a couple of my favorites, and you know that, and I appreciate you so much. And thank you for letting Timmy join, because he likes to be.
So we got to ask Timmy a question. How was it being an employee at Hartford Speedway last week?
You.
He loves you. But put that down. How did you like working at the racetrack? Did you like it?
Yeah.
What are you gonna?
Yes.
Was Mom a nice boss?
No.
I was.
I think we were all on the edge of our seat. What's he going to say?
Right, exactly, right.
So what's Timmy gonna do with his first paycheck?
What are you gonna do? He didn't spend yet. We did go to Dollar Tree today, and he did buy a couple of things, some patriotic things.
Good for you.
Oh, that's for Andy and Lewis. And if Boujou ever comes, we can give him one too, right? Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, thank you.
No, thank you, guys. Thank you so much, and we appreciate it. And no thanks. I look forward to seeing you, Lewis, Friday. Andy's got to work. Are you coming, Boujou?
I might be coming. I might make the trip up there.
Okay. All right. I hope to meet you. Catch me if you can.
And she means that literally. I mean, she's like zoomies,
Yeah. You're gonna be a busy lady on Friday, so
it's my cardio.
but again, thank you so much for taking the time tonight to get on here and allowing us to like I told Drew, because in order to go live, also our guest. So Buju, this is good for you to know. If you ever invite someone, they have to have a StreamYard account in order to connect it. So I asked Drew, I said, hey,
Gotcha.
you're already in, and I know he has access to the Hartford page. So I said, let's help Leah out. Let's get that connected. That way, that took care of it for you. So all you had to do is come in. So again, I appreciate all the Hartford fans who maybe didn't know about the Monday Night Rewind and got a chance to listen to Nick Stremme at the beginning and then stuck around for you. But definitely like this, share it out. There's a lot of information in here. And it's already on the Hartford page, so we don't have to share it to the Hartford page, but definitely be able to watch back because there's, like I said, there's a lot of good information. So again, Leah, as always, thank you so much for taking time out tonight and your busy life. Thank you, Timmy, for joining us.
Would you like to say?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, no, you're welcome. And again, we've been talking with Leah Dibble since about 7:40, talking about the Hartford Speedway World of Outlaw event that's coming up this Friday again for the first time since July 12th, 2019. I almost gave a wrong answer, but July 12th. So again, this is huge for Hartford to have the World of Outlaws. They're very selective on where they go, so don't miss an opportunity to take in this event. So again, Leah, I know you and Timmy got to get ready to go to bed. So
we have no school tomorrow. We got to get ready for nothing. Anyway.
Oh, Timmy.
I have to get ready for my food order tomorrow and my day of work at the track. But yeah, we're on spring or summer vacation.
Oh, that's right.
Nice.
He just had his graduation last week.
Yeah,
so, so last Wednesday had his graduation. So yeah, there you go. So again,
he's on the honor roll.
Oh, nice. Congratulations, Timmy.
What do you say?
Thank you.
So you're very welcome. So again, I will let you guys enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And Drew gets to talk a little bit now about his National Compact show at Corrigan Oil. So that's where, again, Leah, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, say bye.
Actually, bye.
I got a crush on her.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
I got
Oh,
a crush on her.
He has a crush on somebody. He's telling you.
Oh.
That must be Holly, right?
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Well, and everyone's enjoyed Timmy being a part of the show. That's
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Timmy's awesome.
Commenting. So even JD loving the background. He is the show for sure. So again, thank you so much, Timmy, for joining. And anytime, Timmy.
Thank you. Good night.
Yeah, we'll see you all later.
Yeah, thank you, Leah.
Bye. Bye.
All right. So really quick, since we're past the top of the hour, I want to do one more reminder that we are not hosting the Thursday Night Throttle this Thursday. I know we've been every week. Buju is wanting to experiment with something, and I'm taking a personal Thursday away to go do an event that only works for me on a Thursday. So I asked Buju permission. And so I said, this is a good chance to.
He needs your permission, Buju.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was going to go anyways, but I'm not going to be at the event running the show. So this is a good chance for Buju to try something. So again, this Thursday we are not on for the Thursday Night Throttle. We're going to take a week off. But I will be posting graphics that you would normally see on the Thursday Night Throttle. I will be posting those so you can still come to Top Row on Thursday around 7 o'clock. And I will have all the graphics posted for the events that are coming up this weekend on Friday, Saturday. And I don't think we have any Sunday events this week. So still come to the page. There just won't be a live show, but there will definitely be graphics so you can see what's coming up. So I just want to do that reminder that there will be no throttling up, at least show-wise. But for Buju, he'll have something maybe on his page on Thursday around the same time. You can check him out and see what that's all about. And I do want to do one more reminder, too. If you're looking to have your car detailed and get it show shine ready for summer, especially now that it's finally warming up and staying consistently warm, ELH Detailing, a partner of Top Row Racing Media, they have a buy one full detail using the code Top Row. They'll automatically put you in an entry where you could potentially win. Oh, I shouldn't say win. Facebook might block that. You could potentially earn the opportunity for a detail on the house from ELH Detailing. The first one we're going to give away is right here on the Monday Night Rewind on July 13th. And then the second one will be on October 12th, just before fall. And I do also want to do a reminder, and I need to post the graphic for it. They have a car show coming up I want to say it's next Saturday, the 13th, right at ELH Detailing. Head over to their Facebook page, ELH Detailing, to check out, because I do think registration is still open. So if you have a car that you like to put in the show, Matt Kemp, I think, is going to be there for a little bit. Also, because I saw him at Lane Automotive on Saturday, or on Friday on my way to Kalamazoo, so I know he's going to do a stop in. So definitely check out ELH Detailing. But other than that, Drew, if you want to talk a little bit about what's coming up this Friday, obviously we've spent a lot of time on the World of Outlaws, but you do have a show too at Corrigan Oil Speedway with MTR Dwarf Cars, who always put on a spectacular show. And I know the entry list you said is already looking popping. And then obviously Will Wiggins and crew with the Ohio Wayman Super Stock Series, and his juice boxes will be on the property. And then, of course, the show that you're helping to bring in with your National Compact Touring Series, and those drivers who are the world's fastest compacts on asphalt. So if you want to talk a little bit about your show and what will be going on.
Well, Lewis, I greatly appreciate it, but because we're streaming on the Hartford Speedway page, I want to be respectful. And I will just say this: pick a racetrack, support it, have fun, enjoy the night, and just be kind on social media. The crap I've seen on all sorts of social media channels this week, even advertising things for trying to get people in the stands, people are just being negative. I've seen something happen at another track at Southwest Michigan I wasn't even aware of, and I've just seen posts. I'm going to be frank, just shut the hell up and enjoy racing, or go find a new hobby. I mean, people like Leah, myself, Tim, yourself, Buju, Donnie, Jeff Striegel, Jim at Corrigan Oil, they all work hard, and they're not making a lot of money in what they're doing. They're doing it to keep the love of the sport. It's a business. We want to make money, but I've never worked so hard in my life to break even. Never worked so hard in my life to try to minimize my losses to hopefully nothing this weekend. But at the end of the day, please just take the time, be respectful. If you have nothing good to say, go find the Kalamazoo Wings Facebook page and tell them how you really feel about their coach. So leave short track racing alone. But at the end of the day, support racing. Doesn't matter what track. If it's in Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, just do it. And if you have nothing nice to say, go to the beach. Go have a drink. I'll buy you a drink to keep you away from the racetrack.
So again, there's just a lot to do. Obviously this weekend the weather's finally beautiful, so it's time to take advantage of it, right? And just enjoy it. And sometimes Kevin England had a nice post or comment. It was one of those that he said, sometimes just wait till Monday. Take whatever you're feeling and give it a few days before you feel it. We've talked before, it's okay to be mad. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be frustrated. It's just how you handle it. But one thing I was thinking, Drew, if you wanted to pop off really quick, just so that you could, I think when you log off, you can, the Hartford with you.
I greatly appreciate it. I know we got a lot. Buju's not feeling well today. You got a lot going on, and I got some emails to get to. The one thing I will comment, because it doesn't compete with Hartford, TNT, Kalamazoo Speedway, Demolition Derby, support that. Russell's M40 Speedway. We're doing something different. When Donnie and I sat down and put the schedule together at Kalamazoo, I suggested to him and Randy that we do something different with it being MIS weekend, usually being a little bit lower with World of Outlaws. It was going to be a no-win on Friday at Kalamazoo. So, anyway, yeah, I did nothing. But anyway, just support a racetrack, and thank you to those guys. Go to M40, go to Kalamazoo, go to New Paris, go to Hartford, go to Corrigan Oil, Owasso, Berlin, Ken Ross. If you want to go up north, I don't know if they're racing. No, go check their schedule first. I think they're every other week. But Bujo, anything in closing?
No, I want to give a shout out to my buddies, the Millborn Racing Group. They had a good weekend in the up at M40, and then down this way, Dakota won his Hornet feature on Friday, and then Ronnie and Cheyenne are engaged and won the fast heat and feature at M40 on Saturday. So I'm part of their team up there, and I've been good friends with Ronnie for a long time. So I just want to give them a shout out on my little weekend shout outs here at the end.
Oh yeah, that's right. We forgot the weekend shout outs. But
That's all good.
yeah, but again, I know um I was going to say, obviously, again, everyone's had this Friday circled for a really long time. So wherever that may be, but definitely with World of Outlaws, take it in, take in the show, because again, this has been 7 years, and so I'm really excited for Tim and Leah, and I know they're going to be putting in hours and hours and hours and hours
Oh,
of.
Lewis, Tina, before I forget, Tina brought up a good thing. So, Braden Loop and
Oh
his
yeah,
brother,
yep,
what's his brother's name? I'm sorry.
Jaden.
Jaden, they had a house fire on Friday. This message Tina right there. She can tell you how you can help. Um, I know the mini wedge program. I don't know exactly what they did, but I heard a lot of praises. So thank you for them for stepping up. I am going to do something at Corrigan Oil for them this weekend. I'm going to work with Tina on that. We're going to see what they need, raise some funds, or ask people to bring some stuff. But I wanted to bring that. I'm sorry, I totally forgot about that. We probably should have talked about that at the top of the hour. But they were at the racetrack. They had a devastating fire. They lost everything. Um, Denton, I'm sorry, I don't remember his first name. Bill Denton, is it? The dad or stepdad? And then Christina, or Christy, is the mother.
Yeah.
So you can reach out to them as well too, or Tina. That's family to her. They will certainly be happy to direct you on how you can help. Brent, sorry,
Right.
I'm very sorry about that, Tina. I just
And Tina, for those watching, Tina's probably commenting on the top row page because she doesn't have a link next to her, so I know it's not on the Hartford page, and it doesn't look like it's National Compact. So definitely find her on the top row page, and you can message them. I know Sabrina Beebe had something on her photography page where they were looking for things. I know it's on the Kalamazoo page, so definitely, yeah, because I know that happened on Saturday while they were at Guilford. So never fun when those kind of things happen because it changes life really quickly. So again, that's one thing to remember is people get mad and angry at different things that are like first world problems. It's like there are real problems to be mad and angry about. So and handle and have to go through. So it's like enjoy your time at the track. You're not always going to leave happy, but just remember there's worse things to happen than a flat tire or a blown engine. I mean, I know those are expensive, but you know, they're bigger things to worry about. But anyways, I know it's just past 8:30, so I know Bougie, your voice held on just long enough and everything.
Yeah.
So you'll get a couple days before you try your thing again. No Thursday Night Throttle. Drew, I know you got a lot of work ahead of you, and I'm going to be editing 2 programs because I'm not going to bed tonight until they're done. So, because I don't have time for it to drag on this week. So again, other than that, find somewhere to go. Weather's looking nice, so it's almost time to turn left and go fast because Boujou,
We'll see you at the races.
we'll see everyone at the races.